It's cold, right? This weather's phenomenal. So my name's Karina Kadarin, and I'm a manager at Rogers CPA UWorld. What I'm going to talk to you today is about the CPA exam game plan, but first I'll go over a little bit about me. I've been with the company for just about 5 years now. I started my career at Deloitte in their audit practice, and I was in audit for about 2.5 years and realized I wanted to try something totally new. And I actually wound up meeting some really fantastic recruiters there, and so they piqued my interest into the world of HR. So I wound up leaving audit, like I said, after 2.5 years, and I went into a HR type of role. And so I was in that role for about 4 years and wanted to pursue campus recruiting in HR. So I left Deloitte and I went to a mid-sized public accounting firm called Rustin Cass. Anybody hear of Rustin Cass ever? Okay, well they're no longer. So I was with them for 3 years until they were acquired by KPMG in the summer of 2014. So with the acquisition, I was on the campus recruiting team at KPMG in New Jersey. And I stayed there. I was just there for a short time, about 3 months, until I was approached with this opportunity. So while I was at that mid-sized public accounting firm, we used Rogers CPA Review to help our people pass the exam. So I already knew about the course, the company, and so really it was a no-brainer for me. And so really what I spend a lot of time doing is a lot of project work for the company. My colleague who typically is on campus all the time, her name is Janil. She is about to pop. She's pregnant with twins. So I'm just filling in for her today. So I'm hopefully going to do her some justice. And so I'm going to talk, like I said, about the CPA exam game plan. If you have any questions throughout, let's make this interactive. Just interrupt me at any time, okay? Okay, so by show of hands, who's heard of Rogers CPA Review before today? Oh, good. So almost everybody. Has anyone heard about UWorld? Okay. Yeah, one person. Okay, there we go. So we are now officially Rogers CPA Review powered by UWorld. So we were acquired in the summer, July 1st. So just a couple of months ago, we were acquired by a company named UWorld. And basically what UWorld does is they focus only on test prep. So high stakes prep work. And so they are in the market with medical exams, nursing. They dominate like 99. And anybody you know who's in the medical field, I'm sure they know about UWorld. They also do SAT prep, ACT. They're going to be getting into CFA as well. So they wanted to get into accounting. And so that's where we came in. And what's really great about this acquisition, I'm going to talk about it in the presentation today, is the amount of resources they have. Because they've always been test prep, and so they have a lot of experience, they have a lot of resources that we've been able to adapt with our course as well to make it super. Okay, so for the couple of you who have never heard of Rogers CPA, so we've helped over 200,000 students become CPAs. We are proven with a 91% pass rate. And we help you pass the exam 3 times faster with what we have, a new technology called SmartPath. Okay, so I was an accounting major, and when I was sitting in your seats a million years ago, I remember just thinking, okay, well, to become a CPA, I just need to take the CPA exam, and I'm done. That's not the case. There's the 4 E's, okay? So we're going to talk about education, exam, ethics, and experience. So first thing we're going to go over is education. So on those, everyone has one of these green sheets? Right? Okay, so you're going to see here high-level information about the exam, which I'm going to go over. But at the bottom, you're going to see state-specific information about New York and New Jersey. I assume, because you're going to school in New Jersey, that most of you are going to be licensed in either New York or New Jersey. So the state requirements are listed at the bottom. So you need to make sure that whatever state you plan on getting licensed in, that you're going to meet the education requirements. So for New Jersey, you need a bachelor's degree. It does not say an accounting bachelor's degree. It says a bachelor's degree. Okay, so you need to have a bachelor's degree or higher. And you need to have 120 semester hours, including 24 in accounting and 24 in business. Okay, so once you know you have fulfilled the educational requirements, you're going to go into the actual exam. So applying for the exam, you're going to apply online. Okay, and once you have your application done, you want to submit your official transcripts. What's going to happen is CPA ES, the educational services here, they will look at your application along with your official transcripts, make sure that you are eligible to take the CPA exam, and they will send your application for processing to the National Candidate Database, who will process everything, and if all is good and you've met those educational requirements, you will get an NTS. Everyone knows what an NTS is? Essentially, that's a paper that you need. It's telling you you are now able to schedule, your notice to schedule, NTS. You're now able to schedule the CPA exam and take it. I do want to just note that that NTS that you get, it has an expiration date. In most states, it's about 6 months. So you want to make sure that when you get that paper, you go ahead and schedule your exam. Because if you don't, and it expires, you're going to have to do the whole thing over again. And so you're going to be, believe me, when you're doing your application, there's a fee for the application. And so you don't want to have to, you basically just made a donation to the state if you don't use that NTS and you have to do it again. Yeah.
So it says that you require 24 semester hours in accounting and 24 semester hours in business. If we're not an accounting major, or that aside, how would we get those hours as an undergraduate in business?
Okay, so are you saying like what classes would count for that? Yeah. So what I would recommend, everybody is different. Not everybody's an accounting major, right? People take different classes. So to verify, like, oh, well, would this count as that? Would this count as an accounting course, or would it count as a business course? That you need to verify with the state board. Okay, so that's what I would do. So, like, you know, I would think if you have an audit class, that's going to be towards your accounting, right? But other people say, well, would this count as a business class? I don't want to give anybody, you know, we're not experts in that. We're experts in telling you about the exam. But what comes into the credits, you should verify that with the state board. Okay, good question. Okay, so when can you take the CPA exam? Unfortunately, you cannot take it 365 days a year. You can take it in what's called testing windows. So you can take 1, 2, 3, or all 4 parts in any given testing window here listed on the left. Okay? These are the dates of the year that you cannot take the CPA exam. These are called blackout periods. So the AICPA is doing a lot of things during the blackout periods. They're looking at how is everyone doing on the previous test? Do they need to make any changes? Things like that. So that's when you should worry about taking it. And everyone knows about the 18-month rule. So you have 18 months from once you pass your first part, once you pass it, not when you take it and if you fail. Once you pass your first part, that's when the clock starts ticking, and you have 18 months to pass the remaining 3 sections. If you don't, you lose credit and you have to retake a section. Okay. What I have seen in my experience is once people take their first part and they pass, it actually lights a fire under you, and you're like, oh, I can do this. And so typically it'll motivate you once you pass your first part, and then you just keep that momentum going. But do keep in mind that you have 18 months to complete. The majority of our students take about 9 months to complete all 4 parts. So 18 months is, you have plenty of time. One of the biggest questions that we get asked is, well, what part should I take first, second, third, fourth? And so we recommend that everyone start with FAR. And for those of you, anybody studying already? Okay, a couple of you. So for everybody else, once you do enroll in a review course, you're going to see the size of the textbook, which for FAR, it's this big compared to the other ones. And the reason why is because that is the section that has the most content. It's the most intense. So with that 18-month rule I just spoke about a minute ago, why wouldn't you take the most intense part first? Because then once that 18-month rule starts, you want to just keep that momentum going, right? So get FAR done first. And for the only ones that are interchangeable are the second section and third. We say take VEC last. But for second and third, we typically say think about what department you are either going to be going to if you have a job offer lined up. So if you're going to be in the audit practice, let's say, we would say take FAR, then audit, then reg, then VEC. If you say, oh, I have a job, I'm going to be going for a job in tax. Okay, so then do FAR, then reg, then audit, then VEC. If you don't have a job lined up and you're kind of like, I don't know, have a great time picking whichever one makes you happier. I would say pick whichever one makes you most comfortable. Okay? And a lot of people will say, you know what? My last semester in school, I took an audit course. I'm going to go with that one next. Okay? So that's what we recommend. But go with what you feel most comfortable with. Now, what should you expect on the exam? So I mentioned before, so there's 4 parts of the CPA exam. You have FAR, which is financial accounting and reporting. You have audit, auditing and attestation. Reg, which is regulation. And BEC, which is business, environment, and concepts. So you have 4 hours to take each section. So total, it's a 16-hour exam. Okay, what types of questions are on the CPA exam? So all this information I'm going over is on that green sheet, just so everyone knows. So what types of questions? There's multiple choice questions. Everyone's familiar with those, right? And then does anyone know what a task-based simulation is? Anybody? Go ahead. Blur it out. Yeah, exactly. So it's interactive. It's called a simulation because it's meant to simulate what you could be going through in public accounting. So it's essentially a word problem. And it could have some kind of multiple choice in it, but you have to read things in order to make the decision of what answer you're going to make. Okay, and I'll show you an example in a minute. And then there's also written communication. Written communication is only in the BEC section. Okay, so that's the only section that's different. BEC has multiple choice and simulations and the written communication. And that I will talk about in a minute as well. Everyone knows what a multiple choice question is, right? I don't think I need to go over this. Okay, so here's an example of a simulation. And so you'll see here, you're going to read some information. Okay, here's a scenario. Okay, based on that, you're going to click on here and there's going to be a drop down. So essentially this is kind of a multiple choice, but you're making your answer based on what you have read in the question. Okay? Okay, so here's another, there's different types of simulations, and this one in particular is called a document review simulation. And so the purpose of this one is you're going to be reviewing documents like crazy in the profession, right? Whether you're an audit or tax. The purpose of this type of simulation is for you to discern what's important in a document versus what's not important in a document. So what's going to happen is you're going to have what's called exhibits. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 exhibits. Okay, there's an email here, a draft of something here, a report here. You have to read all of those exhibits. And then you're going to look at this here, which is, I believe, a financial statement footnote disclosure. And what's going to happen is, based on those exhibits, they're going to pick a couple of sentences from the document. Okay, so this blue one is one that they picked. You click on it, and it's going to say, okay, based on all of that, would you leave this sentence in it? Would you have it removed? Or would you change it to one of these 3 other options? Okay, so that's a document review simulation. Research task-based simulation is what we call, like, basically one of the easier. This is if you can do a Google search, you're typically fine doing a research one as well. So these are the least difficult types of questions. And then we're going to go over written communication. So again, this is only in BEC. I think huge misconception of accounting professionals is, oh, well, you just punch numbers all day. It's like, actually, no, that's not true at all. It's a people business. You're going to be doing a lot of communication. You're going to be doing a lot of communication through writing and emails. And so the purpose of this is to test your writing ability. It's testing you to make sure that you know you need to have an intro, a body, and a closing. Your answer needs to be clear, concise, and it has to be on topic. The CPA exam is graded by a computer. So what the computer is going to be looking for are keywords in your answer. Your answer may not be 100% correct, but as long as it's on topic, and like I said, it's clear, it's concise, you're good. They're looking at grammar, punctuation, word usage, capitalization, your spelling, all of that. And we say here, don't put any bullet points. But what we also say is try to repeat some of the keywords that are in the question. Okay, that helps as well, because remember, the computer's reviewing this. Yes?
So the written part is graded totally by a computer?
Yes. The whole exam is graded by a computer. If you are on the cusp, actually you beat me to my next point here. If you are, everyone knows what the passing score is? 75. Okay, 75. If you are on the border, so if you're 74, 75, or even 76, a human will regrade it to make sure that your score is exactly what it is just because it's so close to the passing score. I've never seen someone get a 76 and then they tell them it's not really a 76. But yeah, so that's what they do, just sort of assure you that your score really is what it is. So 75 is the magic number for all 4 parts. Okay, and then how is the exam scored, right? How is it weighted? So over here you'll see I have it listed out separately. BEC is listed out separately because that's the section that has the essays I just mentioned. But audit, FAR, and reg, it's 50-50. 50% multiple choice, 50% how you do on your simulations. With BEC, 50% multiple choice, 35% how you do on simulations, and then 15% written communication. And the CPA exam does have pre-tested questions. Does anyone know what a pre-tested question is? It doesn't count.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. It's a question that they'll throw in there to see how people do, and maybe they'll use it on future exams. So you want to pray that the ones that you're going across, and you're like, hopefully that's a pre-tested question, because you won't know. They're not going to tell you when you're taking the exam. Okay, and I already mentioned score of 75 or better, and now we're going to talk about time strategy. So what we work on a lot with our course is just making sure that you're not spinning your wheels too much and wasting time in questions, because remember, you have 4 hours to take every exam. That's it. If you don't finish everything in those 4 hours, then you don't get the credit for what you didn't do, right? So we want to make sure you get to everything in that time. So for multiple choice questions, you should be spending around 75 to 84 seconds per question, okay? And then the simulations, I went over a couple. There was a document review, there was the research one. So depending on the type of simulation, anywhere between 10 minutes to 25 minutes per question. And then the written communication, there's going to be 3 on the exam, 15 minutes. Okay? Just to give you an approximate of how long you should be spending. Okay, so we spoke about education. We talked about the actual exam. Ethics exam, there is an ethics exam, just so everyone knows, in New Jersey. So I always tell people don't get caught up in the ethics exam, okay? It's 40 questions, it's open book format, so you have 3 chances to pass, you need a 90% to pass. I've been asked the question, well, what happens if you don't pass within the 3 times? And the answer is I've never heard of somebody not passing in those 3 times. So don't get stressed out about the ethics exam. I'm sure everyone is super ethical here. If you can pass the CPA exam, you're going to do great on the ethics exam, okay? So New Jersey does have one. Now, New Jersey, we've got to talk about work experience because you do need 1 year of work experience, and that can be fulfilled before, during, or after taking the CPA exam. In terms of, don't ask me like, oh, well, I did this. Does that count? That's something you need to verify with the state board. They can tell you exactly what counts, okay? So if you've done an internship before, things like that, keep those in your mind. But you have to be working for a licensed CPA, an active licensed CPA. What that means is when somebody takes a CPA exam, okay, great, you pass, you get your license, that's wonderful. That's not valid forever. There's going to be an expiration date. I have an HR license. Mine's only valid for every 3 years. I have to recertify it. Same thing with the CPA license. You have to recertify every few years because they want to make sure that you're staying up to date with the profession, okay? Because new regulations are coming out all the time, and they want to make sure that you're aware of those, okay? So when we say you have to make sure you're working for an active CPA, it means that their license has to be active, can't be expired. Make sense? Okay. And then for those with tax experience, 25% of your time must be spent in audit and accounting. Okay, so after you fulfill all of those 4 E's, okay, you've passed the exam, you need to worry about getting 150 credits. Now that's not to take the exam, that's to get your license. Okay, so worry about the credits after is what I usually recommend to people. Get the exam done first, that's harder. So pass the exam, then you have your credits, you've got your year of work experience, you've passed the ethics course within 6 months of getting your license. Now you're a CPA. You can put those 3 letters after your name, okay? Let's talk a little bit about our course. So the Rogers CPA Review difference, there's a bunch of CPA Review courses out there. What makes us different? So we have the highest quality questions. Excuse me. We have extraordinary instruction and time-saving technology. So let's talk about all 3 of those things here. Okay, so we're committed to excellence. Has anyone heard of the AICPA blueprints? No? Okay, yes. So what the AICPA does is they release what they call blueprints, and basically what they do is they'll send us, and I'll show you actually on the next slide. Okay, so this right here, so it's going to show us what's the representative task that's going to be on the exam, and then what skill level does it test. So based on what the AICPA releases, we take that, and that's how we formulate our questions. Okay, so we take that, they say this is what's going to be on the exam, okay, great, that's how we come up with our questions to prepare you. Okay, so each question in our course is mapped to the skill level and representative task outlined in the blueprints I just showed you. Our content team has actually tripled since this acquisition, okay, so that's a great thing. Questions come from both the AICPA, and then we also write questions from scratch in addition to that. And then answer explanations. When you're taking a lot of our questions, you want to make sure that you're understanding why the answer is what it is. Maybe you just made a really good guess, right? That could be the case, but you want to make sure that you understand why the answer is what it is. And what we do a really good job of is explaining why that is. So, okay, you have a question, and okay, what's the answer? Here's what we do with the answers. We now have visuals, which is really great. I'm a very visual learner. So we'll have a chart to explain the answer. We also have it written out. Okay, this is why the answer is what it is. But if it's an A, B, C, D, if answer A is the correct one, okay, we're going to explain why B, C, and D are wrong. And then we're also going to explain why is A the right answer, so that way you really understand how you got to that answer. Okay, has everyone said they've heard of Rogers CPA Review. Have you heard about our lectures? Yeah, but I'm sure everyone's heard about how great our lectures are, right? How Roger is our lead instructor right now, and he is super energetic. He's got so much energy, and really what's great about that is everyone's taking accounting, and the material sometimes is not the most interesting thing to listen to, right? So finding an instructor who's going to make it energetic and it keeps you interested, where you're going to be paying attention, because you don't want to waste your time listening to lectures and then you're like, I don't even know what just happened here. So you want to make sure you have an instructor. Think about the professors that are here, right? There's probably some that you really feel like, okay, I can pay attention, I'm learning, and then there may be some that you're like, kind of dozing off a little bit here and there. You want to make sure you have a good instructor, and that's what we have. We have the best instructor. And yes, so we are all online, okay? So you'll have the lecture. This is exactly what our course looks like. You'll have our lecture on the one side, and then on the other side, you'll have the electronic version of the textbook to go along with it. Time-saving technology. There are 0 shortcuts when it comes to taking the CPA exam. It's an academic exam. If you don't study, you're not going to pass. That's just what it is, okay? So what we did do, though, we came up with this technology in early 2018. And essentially what we did, it's all data-driven. And what we did was we looked at previous Rogers students who have taken all 4 parts and they passed all 4 parts, and we looked at 2 data points. How many questions were they taking in their course, and what grades were they getting? Okay, so based on that data, we came up with targets for every single chapter in our course. Every section, every chapter has 2 targets. So the point of SmartPath is for you to, so this is what it looks like. This is chapter 3 in audit, so it's internal controls. You should be getting 85, and you should be answering 221 questions. Okay? When you meet both of those, you'll get a green happy person holding up a flag. Once you see that green, that means move on. You've spent enough time. You are ready to go with chapter 3. Okay? If you're getting anything else, red, you need improvement. You're getting close, you need improvement. So again, me with the visual, I like to click on it. You can see all the chapters in the section and see where should I be spending my time. And it's basically saying the old way of, watch the lectures, then take the questions. That's out the window now. Now we're saying take the questions, see what you know, and what you don't know, that's what you need to be studying. What you know, keep it moving. So the point of SmartPath is really to help you study more efficiently, okay? We have a bazillion testimonials, okay? So if you're interested in seeing what other people have to say, go ahead on our website. We have so many, especially when it comes to SmartPath. People are saying, gosh, I wish I had this, previously. And if you use SmartPath, that's where our 91% pass rate comes from. So 91%, if you use SmartPath, will pass on the first try. Anybody in here want to take the exam more than once? Exactly, right? So just something to think about. We partner with a lot of top firms and universities. So for those of you, I know you're looking at the end of your career at FDU and you're looking at getting employment somewhere, look into the options that they offer in terms of CPA review, because a lot of firms will pay for a CPA review course. And we partner with a lot of them. So here's just a little bit of a snapshot. And we do also partner with some universities where the professors use our course in the classroom. So find out that information, and some firms will even reimburse. So let's say you work for a firm, and it's not one of these up here. We have other ones, but let's say we don't partner with one of the firms that you're going to get an offer from. A lot of them will reimburse if you really no, but I want to take Roger. Okay, well, they'll reimburse you for paying out of your pocket. Okay, so look into that. Okay, everyone has their phone, right? The only thing I've seen is the internet is really, really not good in this room. But if everyone can get on this website, I will show you. Hold on. Okay, so if you go to rogercpreview.com, see this code here? So you're going to use FDU MET BAP 19. When you use that code, it's specific to this presentation, it gives you 50% off. It's a 24-hour flash sale. Okay, so it gives you half off. The elite course is we only have 2 packages that we offer. That white paper that I gave everybody, you'll see there's 2 packages. This is on the more robust one. It's the more expensive one. This is essentially everything that we have to offer. Okay, so normally it's $29.99. Okay, but we're doing a 24-hour flash sale where it's $14.99. This comes with unlimited access. So a lot of people are like, well, I'm not ready to study today. That's okay. You can still buy today to lock in this price, and then you have unlimited access. Okay? And what's great with unlimited access is, okay, I bought it today, I logged in, okay, cool, but I'm not taking it until 6 months from now. We upgrade our course typically twice a year. You will still get the upgrades, okay? So you'll always have the most up-to-date material. And I'm going to pull this up at the end in the next couple of slides. I'll leave it up for you all. Connect with us on social media. Okay, so we are on every social media platform you could think of. Our social media team is really great at just giving information that we think you're going to find valuable. It's not a bunch of spam that you're like, delete, 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 delete. We're not going to email you every 5 seconds of the day. But this is really great in terms of if you're like, okay, well, what's going to be on the 2020 exam? We release that information. You know, what do I need to worry about for this section? We release that information. Everything that the AICPA tells us, we release it. You will find out from us. So that's not me, but I'm covering for this is my coworker Janelle, who typically is on campus. I don't know if any of you have met her before, but I'm filling in for her today. This is her contact information, so feel free to reach out to her. Any questions you have after today about the exam, about the course, we are happy to help you. So go ahead and feel free to write down her information. And I also have some business cards as well that I can supply at the end. And that is everything. Now, the one thing I do want to say, though, is let me make sure. Let me see if she gave me a specific website that I can have you guys pull in. Because what will happen is I'll give you a link, and that link, you're going to go on it, you're going to fill out your name and your email. That code that I had up there, we will email you with the code. Okay, so it's just going to go.
Give me so I can email Metro right
That would be perfect. Okay, so everyone has their phones. So it's RogerCPAReview.com. That's the truth. But then there's more. So it's a backslash. So it's FDU. And then MET, M-E-T, BAP 19. So it's actually Roger CPA Review and then the. I'm going to pull up the code at the back. And so what happens is. When you go to that website, it's going to actually
say that website again.
Yep. So it's www.rogercpareview.com / yes, the one. What's this one?
That's /.
It's backslash word. The usual one.
Yeah, the usual one. Right. That's backslash. Right. That's backslash.
Okay.
FDU /
That's /
/ or backslash?
Okay. All right. Let's. It's the one that's right next to shift.
Okay. Now, okay. After FDU, what do you have?
Okay. So / FDU MET as in metropolitan, so MET, and then BAP 19. So if you all go on your phones and type that in, do you see fields to fill in real quick? Do you see that?
Just a question. What is the 4-part cram course? Like, I know that's like one of the things you're offering with this. It's in comparison to the Premier bundle.
So what is it?
Yeah.
So the cram course is essentially, it's called a cram course because it's testing you on the most highly tested topics in the course. So it's meant to be after you've gone through everything you need to go through. You've gone through Smart Pack, you got green, you're doing great. The cram course is just another resource that you can use just to test yourself just on the most heavily tested topics on the exam. So it's just basically another refresher to use as you're right before you're ready to take the exam. Good question. And then we have a mobile app which comes with that package too. So everyone's on the go now, right? So you can see every part of our course on your phone, your laptop, your tablets, all of that. It's fully functional. Everything, the lectures, the questions, all of that is functional. And then we have digital flashcards. So the flashcards are really great because there's 2 decks. There's one that we pre-populate for you, and then there's one you can create your own flashcards too. Flashcards seems to be the most popular things that people really love, so we offer that as well. Like I said, the elite package is all of this, so it's essentially our most robust package. It's everything that we offer. Okay. Did everyone go on that website? I'm just curious. Did the fields pop up for you to?
Yeah.
It did?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let me see what you typed in.
It's hard to see. I don't know,
Here, just hold on your finger on there. Let's see.
I just signed up for my
Okay. So let's see what we got.
deals.
Yeah, you can move that way.
Oh man, there's like
You need FDU, that's why.
Oh, we're like
So it's FDU, MET, BAP 19.
Oh, wait.
FDU, I don't think that is FDU, MET, BAP 19.
Yeah, the ones that you
Oh, there.
state by state.
Oh, is it this?
There you go. Everyone got to the website good? That's going to email you.
Yeah.
It's going to actually bring you to a shopping cart, and it's going to be pre-populated for you. That's why it's better to go through the link instead of codes. Everyone got it? Good?
So does this link expire today?
It expires in 24 hours, so midnight tomorrow.
Okay.
Like I said, lock into the rate because
I've been doing
we,
rims at 3 years.
in
so you
history,
take it.
I've been here 5 years. We don't typically do flash sales on our bigger package. Maybe on the other one, but this is everything that we have to offer. For
We can log in right now.
You can buy it right now, right this second.
Now, what if we're taking the exam in 2 to 3 years?
You have unlimited access, and what will happen is you will. No, that's why I said it before. So you'll still have whenever you're going to be taking it, we update your course automatically. So you're always going to have the most up to date course. So yeah. Any questions? I know we're towards the end of the
So
time.
this is only, fortunately, it's only a limited time to get this.
Unfortunately, it's a limited time. So
We're
yeah,
not ready
it's,
yet to study.
yeah. Well, I mean, but it's unlimited. So even if you're not ready now, you can still lock in at this price, and you still have the course for however long you need it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
So
unlimited.
for one time.
It's unlimited. There's no end date. There's no end date. What we typically do with unlimited is you log in, and it will have an automatic 2-year expiration date. You'll see it's going to be 2021. You just have to renew it every 2 years. Like basically, it's us checking in with you. Like, are you done? And you just click, you renew it, and it'll renew for another 2 years. And it'll renew for another 2 years. However, hopefully, you don't need that long to pass the exam. But that's what unlimited is for. However long you need to take it, that's what you have.
Then what's the continuing education? What is that? Is that
Yeah. Okay. So what that is, typically, if you have a job offer and you're going to be working at a public accounting firm, a lot of that will be taken care of at your firm. So, especially Big Four, I've worked at mid-sized public accounting firms. There's constantly going to be training. So typically, there'll be training every time you get promoted. So you start as an associate, and then you'll be promoted to senior associate. There's going to be a training for senior associates. And then there's other various trainings as well. There could be software trainings, there could be there's an abundance of trainings in a lot of the firms that you work with. So the majority, if not all, typically is covered there. But then if there's anything else that you do, a lot of it's webinars, just do online trainings. Yeah.
Just making sure we don't do this again.
No. Oh no, you take the exam once, get your license,
And it's just like
the recertifying is cake. It's cake, so. Any other questions?
So
Everyone went to the website?
I
So you can get your code? Excellent, yes.
It's a one-time fee. I just want to be clear on.
Cost for a course?
Yeah, just
Oh,
one
yeah.
time.
That's it,
Just one.
that's it.
Oh.
Unless you want to give me something.
No.
Okay. No, just one time, that's it.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's not like,
You just get in.
I think it was what he was asking, if you can split it up into payments.
Oh, you can, we have financing, yes. I should have said that, yes. We use Affirm financing, right here. So easy monthly payments available with Affirm. So if financing is something, so on top of getting this price, you can finance it. So what happens is, go to that link, it'll bring you to a pre-populated cart, and then at checkout, you have the option of just paying with your card or going through financing. So you do whatever makes you feel most comfortable. And I believe with Affirm, it doesn't affect your credit from what I've understood. So you could even apply for it, and you could see what the monthly payments would be. I think they give you a few options. If you want to do 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, whatever the case, they'll give you a couple of options. So you can see what those payments would be, and then if you decide, nah, I'm just going to pay for it outright, you can do that too. You can make your decision at that point. Very good question.
Actually, more like.
Is that what you meant? Sorry.
Well, oh no, I was just wondering.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you. Oh, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
The returns on your website.
Yes, you can see them on our website, but you can also go to the AICPA's website, because they have them released for the public, yeah.
Oh, so what's it called? AICP?
Yep, AICPA, and they're called the blueprints. You can Google it, and you'll see it, we have it on our website, on their website.
Did you get my email? Because I sent you the address that she's talking about. Okay?
Yeah, I just got it.
Okay, good. So,
Great. Any questions from you all?
Anybody have any questions?
Okay. Well, thank you all for your attention, and I wish you the best of luck in your accounting careers.
Thank you. All right, did everybody sign in?
No, I did.
Okay. The notebook should be somewhere around.